My name is Eduardo Piñeros. I'm a senior lecturer in Spanish here at the School of European Languages and Literatures at the University of Auckland. So linguistics is the scientific study of human language, something that we use every day, but we don't think very much about it, and there's a lot to study about a language. This work allows me to make a connection between linguistics, which is a formal field, and the teaching of Spanish, which is I also do in my department and I enjoy very much. I've been here in New Zealand for only 4 years, and it's a completely different context for teaching Spanish because evidently Spanish doesn't have such a huge presence as it has in the United States. Although it's a single language, there's many varieties of Spanish. There is not one Spanish. Often they say standard Spanish, but there's no such thing because there's so many versions of it, and no version of Spanish is better than another. And some of my work has to do with explaining those differences, how the sound system of one Spanish dialect works and is different from another sound system of another dialect, and yet those two dialects comprehend each other perfectly. So it's interesting to see that in the context of the whole Spanish-speaking world. My favorite course to teach is actually Spanish 104. It's Beginner Spanish 1, and I have a great fun there. It's a really good time for me to be able to bring these students into a new world. When you start with a language, you open a door into a new culture. So that's a very rewarding part of my teaching, what I do at the lower levels with beginner students. It is very important that when I have new students coming to Spanish to induce them into a passion for the language. I think that a crucial element to being a good teacher is to be really passionate and love what you do. Because when you're there in front of the classroom, students feel what you feel. If you project that you really care about what you're teaching, what you're doing, then you get people passionate about learning about that. Another crucial aspect of teaching for me is being innovative and finding ways in which to allow students to take the learning one step beyond the classroom, to continue learning and to become independent learners. I think that teaching involves a lot of planning. You cannot just come and improvise. You have to have an organization of your class and have a progression in which you build progressively. Students come and you assume that you speak and then it's easy for you, but you have to put yourself in the position of the student who's coming from zero and finds this a very threatening environment. So it is very important to have a good planning of the class in which you take the students from a low level and gradually progress to higher levels where they get to discover something that is completely new, that very few people get to know, and then it's satisfying to see, oh my God, look at this, look at all we discovered. So those are two very important aspects of teaching.